body, shall we?
No, I don't. My chest hurts.
Well, whoever killed her placed their body so she'd be found quickly.
I want details of all cars, vans, trucks parked in the area. Search all skips and bins for handbags, clothes, shoes, anything.
I've worked this side of the river before. I know I had to catch 2 buses to get here. Do we know any details yet? No, not yet. Morgan's given the uniforms and marching orders. My God, that does not look real.
This is the worst part. Look at this.
Barbara, look at the board.
Can you cover her face?
It's blotted down, isn't it? But it's into her holes.
Attention, everybody. We have a female victim, aged between 20 and 30, naked but with nothing to identify her. So that'll be our priority. Find out who the poor soul is.
We got anything in from pathology? We're kind of working blind, you know. It's hard to sort of see what she really looked like because of that slash to her mouth. DCI Morgan's been at the lab all afternoon. He looked terrible. He should be in bed as he's spreading his germs. 4 miles. There are 100 door-to-doors and no one's seen anything, apparently. Have we got anything from the post-mortem yet?
No.
Well, there's no one fitting a description from this area reported missing. Anyone tried to contact DCI Morgan?
Not recently.
I'll do it. Tea, anybody? Somebody must have really hated her to do that to her. Cut her face like that. I don't think we're looking at some kind of domestic violence.
Oh, really, Barbara? Very incisive. What do you think we're looking for, then? You would take some kind of a psychopath with a ready chainsaw in his bathroom.
Yeah. What? Okay, thank you. DCI Morgan's been taken to hospital suffering with pneumonia. Told you he was sick.
Right, listen up, everybody. Well, picnic time, is it? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Detective Chief Inspector James Langton. I will now be heading up this inquiry due to the inability of DCI Morgan to continue running the show. This is DI Mike Lewis. Some of you have worked with him before. So, do we have her identified yet? Oh, my. By now, Travis, she should be used to post-mortem procedure.
Yes, sir. I've worked 3 cases now.
Good, because we don't want you crashing out and vomiting. Got anything to say?
No, sir.
You ever come across anything like this before, Mike?
No.
I want a tight lid on this one, complete press embargo.
No need to get up. I'm ahead of you. I'm going to need a bit more time to find the details. Her injuries are extensive. Have you taken over?
Correct, Veronica.
Poor DCI Morgan was in a really bad way. I had him shipped off to hospital before
Yeah, let's get cracking. Enough time's been wasted already.
Not on my part.
Your victim was between 24 and 30 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall and 56 kilograms. The mutilation was done very professionally, perhaps by someone with surgical experience. Slicing through a body, cutting through muscle tissue, and then carefully through the spinal cord not only takes time, but these incisions are very neat and clean. The body was drained of blood before being severed. There are incisions made to the femoral artery and the right jugular vein. Again, this is no easy feat. One would require a pump and tubes. The cuts to her face were made with a scalpel. They are deep, slicing through the cheek to give the impression
that she's smiling.
Yeah. There's extensive bruising to sections of the head, forehead and midline. Some of the hair's been shaved off. Her hair dyed, by the way. She's natural blonde. You can see a tiny bit of regrowth in the parting. There's further bruising to her arms and thighs, and restraint marks on her wrists and ankles. Now, all of this would have taken some considerable time. Judging by the marks on her body, she would have had to be tied down. Badly bitten fingernails, by the way.
Did you get any fibers or anything that might help us?
No, her body was scrubbed clean with a rough brush, leaving nothing on her skin bar the abrasions.
And the time of death?
Within the last 36 hours. We're still working on her internal organs and toxicology her samples, but without her blood, we're not going to turn up anything satisfactory. I've taken hair and tissue samples for her DNA profile. DCI Morgan asked if we could help provide a photograph for identification of...
How many girls we checked out? She didn't match any one of them.
We're retaining a complete press blackout on what has been done to the victim. But an identical picture went out this morning's papers, appealing for information, because until we know who she was, we'll get nowhere fast. Good of you to join us, Travis.
This is impossible, sir. It sounds as if she recognises our victim.
Female?
Yeah.
Travis, take it.
Hello, it's Travis. Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, look, we're not giving out information at the moment, I'm afraid.
What's the problem, mate?
Some journal.
I'm on the line, please. It's a Sharon Bilkin says that the missing girl is her flatmate.
When did you last see her?
3 days ago.
What, do we have a name?
Louise Pennell.
Oh, we'll get her address. Go and see her.
Sharon Bilkin? Hi. I've not got very long. I've got an audition this afternoon in the West End.
What kind of sick bastard would do all this?
I'm still working, but I thought you should know that your victim is missing a number of lower internal organs. What with this and the blood draining, it looks more likely that your killer has surgical experience.
This is Louise. She was trying to break in. Can I take this? Yeah. What's she done? Has she done something? When was the last time you saw her? Friday, we went to a club. Well, I left her there and she didn't come back, but it's not unusual. Sometimes she stays out for days. Does she work? Yeah, part-time dental nurse. I mean, she gets paid peanuts because they're doing her teeth, putting on caps. What's she done? I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's possible your friend may have been murdered.
Yes. We need a positive ID, so I'll bring her in. Yeah, we'll be here. We maybe got her identified. Travis is bringing in the flatmate, no immediate family as yet. Veronica, is there any way you could clean her face up a bit?
So I need you to look at this girl and tell me if you recognise her. Oh, I did from the photograph, I said it was her. I know, but we need to be sure, and with no next of kin. Right. You ready? Yeah. What's been done to her? Her face? What's the matter with her face? Is this Louise Pennell? Why does she look like that? What's happened to her?
Now we got to work.
New clothes. Some evening gear looks expensive. Ah, look at this. Very nice. Cashmere. Here's some new, hardly worn, compared with...
You reckon she was on the game?
You tell me. You don't get this kind of gear working part-time as a dental nurse.
I'm going to go talk to the landlady. When was the last time you saw Miss Pennell?
They used to get back late, waking me up. But it would probably be last Friday I saw her leave with Sharon. She had a flower in her hair. I remember that.
Did you ever see anyone with her? Anyone come visit?
No. Well, one night there was a ring on my doorbell. And there was this man there. Said he wanted her. And he walked across the road to wait in his car.
Now we know who she is, Mike. What else have we got?
Well, she worked for a dentist, but got fired 3 weeks ago. His alibi checks it out, said she was always late.
Paul, anything?
Not a lot. No letters or diary. Missing is a red coat with velvet collar and matching buttons. She was wearing it when... she was
No
last
friends, no boyfriends.
no boyfriends. It was an older guy she was seeing. The flatmate told Travis that Louise answered an advert somewhere for the Times. Or it could have been Time Out. She thinks she got the job, but doesn't know where it was. But she was asking about getting a passport, since she needed it for a new position.
Check it out.
She used to go out and meet him and come back with a lot of clothes and stuff. And one time she looked really done in, do you know what I mean? Like, she had a bruise on her face. Said she'd fallen down the stairs. Did you see him?
Listen, sweetheart, we've no time to waste. Tell me about this man she was seeing.
What? He was tall, dark-haired. He wore a long black coat. This is DCI Langton.
Yeah, and he was giving her presents, right? Money?
Yeah, perfume. It was an old-fashioned one, smelled of lilac. And she started wearing odd makeup. Very pale with lots of black eyeliner and red lipstick, like a goth or something like the Addams Family. And when she went out, she started to pin a red rose in her hair.
Travis! I want you to go back to the landlady, jog her memory, see if she can come up with anything about this older bloke that was seeing the victim, and question the neighbours again. Have we got anything on this new job the victim is supposed to have?
We've only got a possible time with the advert, but I'm checking with Time Out and the lady.
Well, remember, it's Paul. Check them out.
Gov, better read this.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Who cut Louise Pennell's mouth in two? How the hell did they get hold of that information?
Wait.
Tip us. Get over there and close this down. Hi. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Richard Reynolds.
Anna Travis.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to come through to the newsroom? Or if you prefer, we can bag someone's office. More private. Crime desks, a bit like Piccadilly Circus. Just in here. Take a seat. I'll get some coffee organised. How can I help?
But it's about the article you wrote about the murder victim, Louise Pennell.
We didn't have much to go on as there hadn't been a press release.
Yes, but you wrote that her mouth had been slit in two.
That was in a letter that was sent in. I got another anonymous letter that likened your victim to somebody called Elizabeth. Elizabeth Short? You heard of her?
No.
Me neither. I haven't had a chance to look her up. To be honest, I've been sidelined by this young boy that's missing.
Do you still have the letter?
No, I don't. You know, I did call the police about it. I wasn't exactly taken seriously. Then I got the second letter. I don't have that either, I'm afraid.
Can you recall exactly what it said?
Thanks, lads. Something about how the case of the Black Dahlia was never
Wait,
solved.
hang on, the black what?
Dahlia.
What does that mean?
No idea. It's just what the letter said. How it was never solved, and now there was another one, the Red Dahlia.
Was it handwritten?
No, typed. That was the roses are red, violets are blue. Who cut her mouth in two? Was it, by the way? Cut in two.
Do you know a young woman called Sharon Bilkin?
Should I?
Okay, look, could you please get in touch with me if you can get any more contacts from anyone? This is my direct line. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Have you had lunch?
Pardon?
Oh, there's a nice pub just around the corner.
Oh, no, I've got to get back. Thanks.
How about dinner one evening?
Apparently, it was a story cobbled together when they received the photograph.
What? You gotta know.
Actually, there's two of them.
Two?
It said exactly what Richard Reynolds printed in the paper.
Yeah, well, they had to have come from the killer because we never disclosed any of the wounds to the press. And the only person outside our team who saw them is Sharon Bilkin.
I'm on my way to her now. I said they could take everything because I don't want her stuff. I got to get someone else in to pay the rent, but they've left some things in an old suitcase. I've just shoved everything into it. She sold her photograph, did you? I didn't tell it. He's done some snaps of me, a couple for Buzz. I bumped into him when we got talking. I told him about Louise. He came back here for coffee and I showed him the pictures. I didn't think it'd matter. Did you tell him about the marks in Louise's mouth? No. Will you stop cleaning for a minute, please? Did you give the journalist anything else? I never even met him. Kenneth gave me 50 quid. I just want her stuff removed. She was always on the scrounge, pleading poverty. I mean, she'd use my makeup, my perfume. She'd even eat my tampons and then deny it. Anything you think of might help me. When I first met her, she was really positive, you know? Really excited about the future, but after a couple of months she changed, she was different, always sneaking in and out, secretive. It was always as if she was waiting for something, like every time the phone rang she'd look towards it like she was hoping for something to happen. I knew something was wrong, I just didn't know what. Harwood House Library, 1964. Etiquette, all you need to know about home entertainment. Photograph of myself. I would like to apply for the position of personal assistant. I'm presently working for a dental practice, but I've always wanted to travel, and as I have no dependencies, would not be a problem. I am able to type, but do not have shorthand experience. Working. Reliable and hardworking. Please contact me on the number above. I look forward to hearing from you. Is he in yet? Oh, yes. I think he spent the night here. Barbara, you're trying to trace the advert in the paper, right? Tell me about it. Well, this might help. Found it in Louise Pennell's belongings. This is part of her job application. That's her suitcase. Meant to bring it in last night.
Barbara, grab one to the bacon roll. What's this?
It's Louise Pennell's suitcase. Just brought it in. Stinks of mothballs. I'm not bagging and tagging all that lot. Get lost. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Elizabeth Short. She was 22 years old and was murdered in Los Angeles in 1947. Her killer was never found. It was called the Black Dahlia case. Sorry. Just look at these mortuary shots.
Awful.
There are even more photographs describing the exact way that she was found, and a detailed description of the man that they were hunting. And there's even a sketch somewhere.
Give me a minute.
There was a book out, written by a detective who claimed that his own father was the killer. He worked for the LA homicide team.
The suspect?
No, his father. He was a surgeon. He was the police officer. Look,
Give me some breathing space. I'm still loath to go to the press with more details.
it's just that there are two other murders. If he is copying the Black Dahlia, he could go the whole way and kill again.
You know, they never released the details of exactly how they... Yes, the Yorkshire Ripper killed.
Bacon real soup, no tomato.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have done. He murdered 11 women.
We give the press anything near the truth of this case, it will create mayhem. Right, settle down, everybody. Settle down, this will just take a minute.
Anna, Harwood House was a children's home that closed down about 5 years ago. From the library book, we were able to check out a Mrs. F. Pennell in Margate. Relation? Well, I couldn't speak to her personally. She's very elderly and bedridden. But her housekeeper, a Joyce Hughes, says she thinks she's our victim's grandmother. Sorry, sir. I was just giving the Margate update.
Travis, don't bother phoning. Just get down there. In the meantime, have we had any joy in tracing this bloody advert?
Trying timetable. I don't know. You get all the perks. Nice little trip to the seaside.
Barbara?
No, look, sir, but I'm thinking of applying for a job on a cruise ship.
Yeah, very funny. We find who placed this advert. I reckon it'll lead us to the only suspect we have. So come on, move your arses. Grab it. I hope this little trip to Margate proves worthwhile.
It's all right. This is Hughes. And Travis. Follow me.
Mrs. Pennell is expecting you, but she may be sleeping.
You worked for Mrs. Pennell long?
12 years. There used to be other staff, but now it's just me. Give me a minute. Florence? The lady's here to see you. Florence. There's a bell by the door if you ring it when you're leaving. I'll be downstairs in the kitchen.
Mrs. Pennell?
Sit down, dear. Have you been offered a drink?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. Do you mind if I take my coat off?
There's some gin and tonic on the dresser. Are you from the social services?
No. I'm here to ask you about a young woman called Louise Pennell. Mrs. Pennell, Louise was murdered. Mrs. Pennell, this is a photograph of her. Do you mind taking a look at it and telling me if you knew her?
Is it Raymond's daughter?
Who's Raymond?
My son. That's him over there.
This is your son?
He married a terrible woman. A hairdresser. He died of a burst appendix. If she'd had a brain, she'd have called an ambulance. But she let him die. Heather. Her name was Heather.
Mrs. Pennell, I'm here because I'm investigating the murder of Louise. I need to know if she was here, or if she was with anyone.
Yes.
Sorry?
I said yes, yes, yes. My son, I would have helped. But not that woman. With her bleached hair, common voice, cheap perfume. She was to blame. She killed him.
She can go on like this for hours. The same thing over and over. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yes, please. How does she live in that heat?
I should have warned you not to bring up Raymond. She's 94, and I think her venom is what keeps her alive.
Did you know her son?
No, before my time. Lot of gossip about him. Caught with young boys up in the sand dunes. Then apparently he met this hairdresser and wanted to marry her. But Mrs. Pennell wouldn't hear of it. Cut him off. I think she was pregnant. Doubt if it was his.
That would be Louise, the child.
I think that was her name. I only met her once.
Is this Mrs. Pennell's house?
Yes.
I'm Louise. I'm her granddaughter.
I'm sorry?
My name's Louise Pennell. I want to see my grandma.
If you're speaking about Mrs. Pennell, I'm sorry, she can't see you.
I
It was last September.
9 months ago. I don't know who you are, but I've come a really long way.
I think she was after money. I'd say Florence is worth a few $100,000, probably more.
Well, I'm gonna answer this advert in the paper for a personal assistant. He's very wealthy. He's a writer. And he travels a lot, so I've got to get a passport. If he says he wants to meet me, and I haven't got the right clothes.
There's wardrobes full of good quality clothes that'll never be worn. So I went upstairs and got them for her.
Anything else?
I've been sitting here polishing the...
Okay, well, I'm gonna need a description.
Oh. Will I get into trouble?
I know Raymond took my jewelry for that whore. And I never pressed charges.
Sad, isn't it?
But I could have done.
All this money and this huge house.
Broken his father's
And she came begging and then gets killed.
lovely thing.
The food is good, but I thought it would be nice to go local. Then you can invite me in for coffee after.
Really? I've never been here before.
Always a good idea to check out your local eateries. Reason being you can get leg lessons hot at home. Okay, I'm gonna have the chicken liver to start and the meatballs for main. Are you having a starter?
Yeah, I'm starving. I have the avocado salad and the lamb tagines, please.
Did you get all that? Yep. Good man, thanks. We got a breakthrough on the missing boy. They found his body in Highgate Cemetery, stuffed into a half-dug grave.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. It's really hard to keep your distance emotionally when there's children involved.
It's the peripheral things that take it out of you. The poor mother couldn't speak. Was in total shock. My editor rings me and says, get her to talk about the way she feels. Sorry. I didn't want to get into it. But that was why I was late picking you up.
No, it's okay. I just got back from Margate anyway.
Margaret, what were you doing there?
Making inquiries.
About what?
Were the letters, were they addressed to you personally? It's only in the original Black Dahlia case, their suspect specifically chose the journalist.
No, they were just in the mailbag. So what, you're linking the two cases now, are you?
Married.
Swift change of subject. No, I was. We broke up a year ago.
You have kids?
No. Had a parrot, but her mother's adopted it. Ah, not. Thanks. Another bottle of the Merlot, please. Thanks. Do you think your killer had medical training? I know you're not telling the press any of the grisly details, but after you left, I looked up Elizabeth Short's murder on the internet. If this Louise Pennell's case is similar, it makes my hair stand up on end. What's up?
It's my boss.
Excuse me a minute. Hi. Surprise. Or maybe not. This has to be your local. I come here a lot.
First time for me. This is DCI Langton. This is
Richard Reynolds. Nice to meet you.
Dick. Go ahead, dinner.
That's his boss.
Why don't we just get coffee back at your place?
You ready?
Anna, do you mind if I take a rain check on that coffee? It's just that I have to be up at the crack of dawn tomorrow, and I'll need to do a follow-up on that poor kid.
That's fine.
Bill, please.
Wait, hang on, let me...
No. This is on me. You okay?
Yeah? Wish I hadn't been clocked by my boss, that's all.
Can we do this again? And at a different restaurant?
Yeah, I like that.
That bloke you were with last night, the journalist,
Yeah?
I hope he wasn't pumping you for information.
No, he's just an old friend, sir.
Really. Keep your mouth shut around them, right? When we want the press involved, we rope them in. Don't go spilling any beans they're not privy to.
I wouldn't do that, sir.
How old a friend is he?
I've known him for quite a while.
Yeah, well, they're all the same as far as I'm concerned. Just be careful what you say to him.
I will, but thank you for the advice.
Hey, don't get shirty with me. Right. Mr. Reynolds, I will be very grateful if you bring in a tape of the call immediately.
Did he ask for you personally?
Yes, but I didn't record that as it came via the switchboard.
It's exactly the same.
Let's hear it.
Well, Mr. Reynolds, I congratulate you on what your newspaper's done on the Red Dahlia case. You seem to have gone silent on it, and you've run out of material. You could say that. Maybe I can be of some assistance.
A bit muffled here.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you some of Louise Pennell's personal things that she had with her when she, shall we say, disappeared. When will I get them? Oh, in the next day or so. See how far you can get with them. Now, I have to say goodbye. They may be trying to trace the call.
He cut me off.
Almost identical to the call made in the Black Dahlia case.
Travis. Mr. Reynolds, I do not want the contents of this call printed in your newspaper or any reference to it. We'll send it over to the lab. It may be vital evidence. Play it again.
Well, Mr. Reynolds, I congratulate you on what your newspaper's done on the Red Dahlia case. You seem to have gone silent. You run out of material.
You got anything?
I'd say middle-aged male. Doesn't sound as if he's attempting to disguise his voice. Educated, confident, slightly upper crust intonation.
Is that it?
It's muffled, indistinct, and little background noise to pinpoint a location. This type of phonetic analysis is very time-consuming. It requires painstaking preparations of speech samples and close observation of acoustics and characteristics.
So what do we do? Shove our thumbs up our asses because it could take what?
Days.
A novelist seeking a PA with shorthand and typing experience and a willingness to travel worldwide at a moment's notice. No previous experience required.
Applicants are to be postal orders bought in different post offices. One in Slough, one in Charing Cross.
No, he's covering his tracks.
Can you please look at this sketch and tell me if it resembles the man that came to call for Louise?
Oh, similar. After you left, I had a good think about it, and I've remembered something. It might be nothing, but he held his left hand to his face, like this. Maybe he didn't want me to see him clearly, but I remembered. He was wearing a very distinctive ring, quite large, with a carnelian stone, I think.
It's a bit like him, but I never really had a good look. Whoever it was, Louise was scared of him. Why do you say that? The way she acted when she was going to see him. And she told me that he didn't like her to dress sexy. Demure, that was the word that she used. He liked her to dress demure. But on the night that we last went out, it was like she was sort of expecting him, because at first she didn't want to come with me. Or did she receive a phone call or something? Something that made her change her mind? I don't know. I mean, she might have done while I was in the bath. But she didn't wear her own clothes, she was in mine. Not demure, then. No. But she put on that red coat that she had. So you said that she was wearing this red strapless dress with the with the pink sequin bag. That was mine. Do you think that she was hoping to see him in the club? I don't know. Well, maybe she wanted to dress sexy to piss him off. I'm having my nails done this morning. There's no bank account, no post office savings. She gets 150 quid a week from the dental surgery, but she pays Sharon 120 quid in rent each week, so that doesn't leave much to live on, though, does it? But there is the cash in the boot. There's no trace of the red coat, 40 star with a velvet collar, skirts, blouses. Suitcase reeks of mothballs.
You heard we traced the advert. Well, the bad news is that the postal box and the number listed for applicants to call, drawn blank so far. It's a page ago mobile.
Right, I'm off home. Joe's already gone. Right, wait, but you can still trace the calls made to it. We have done that, haven't we? I'll do it.
Is the boss in? These were delivered to reception.
That's bloody obvious, Paul. DCI Langton, I will give up on the Dahlia killing if I get 10 years. Don't try to find me.
Okay, take a break. Recharge your batteries. Go on, get out.
I'll deal with these.
DCI Langton. Yes. About time. I'll send someone over to pick them up. Yes, and this is a murder inquiry that takes precedence of a few starlets getting drunk on champagne. Thank you. The club's releasing the CCTV footage. Get over there.
You hear about that girl that was murdered? Yeah, were you not questioned already? Nah, on part-time nights. Right, well, this shouldn't take too long. I need you to look at these photos. She didn't leave me a tip. I'm sorry? The coat didn't fit. Old-fashioned. I remember it because my mum had one. You took her coat? Yep. Hung it on the rail at the back. Out of system. The early birds usually are the ones that stay very late. Don't ask me why. This is the sketch of the man we're trying to trace. You ever seen him? I don't know if it was him. Sort of similar. In the club? No. Outside in the alley. We nip out there for a smoke.
Right, let's take a look at that.
He was parked opposite. Cars think they can park here at night and the wardens have a field day. You saw him? I didn't get a close look. He was sitting in his car.
Do you know what make of car it was?
A big car. 4x4 maybe. Very dark, but shiny. Clean. He got out of it when she came up to the passenger side. That other girl. They came in together. She's off for now. Naughty one she is. But she didn't stay more than an hour. They were having a row.
Why haven't you come forward with this before?
I didn't think it meant anything really. It doesn't, does it? Dorian, you've been very helpful. Thank you. Is there a reward?